Tick. It's for my niggas in the fourth quarter. Just watching that clock tick. Yeah, he said, at what point do you start seeing bread? Been out hustling for years, shoebox right under my bed. I moved to work out my mama's house, got me a little old crib. I always fantasize if I had went to college instead. Would I be happily married instead of broken unwed? My nigga made a major move, I said I hope for the best. I told my sister as I kissed her cheek, I'm better off dead. Cause fucking with this white, it's all been downhill like a sled. Now listen, I understand they say you make your own bed, but tell me who supplied these sheets with this cheap ass thread. In denial about the feds, he can't see past bread. I do exactly what the man in the ski mask said.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good, C? What's good, Leo? Hey, bro, how many times I gotta tell y'all, bro? Hold on. How many times I gotta tell y'all, bro? Y'all saying, you may fuck around and be older than I am, bro. Y'all may fuck around and be older than I am, bro. I ain't that old, bro. I'm not even old at all, you know? What's up? What's good, Mo? Also, how you been, Pat? I've been chilling. Been locked in. I've been thinking a lot about how I just started the Patreon, by the way. I've been thinking about how could I make that shit even better? Because something didn't click. Something ain't click. I was just like, I know I could do something better. And I figured exactly what that is out. But before we even get started, let's talk about what we're about to watch today. Kyrie, Luka, right? I'm going to show y'all certain parts of their game as to it. I want to hyper focus on certain skills a little more. And so I want to show y'all how they keep shit simple and why things are almost misconstrued when it comes down to the game. And so mainly, like I said, when it comes down to ball handling, when it comes down to attacking, all that shot creation stuff, playmaking stuff is what we're going to be focusing on. So, you never seen Bob Cousy in person, bro. Bob Cousy in person, bro. I ain't 80 years old, nigga. How much do you prepare for each breakdown? Well, I have to rewatch the game, and the game takes probably around 3.5, 4 hours to watch, and then I have to memorize all the clips, and then I have to do all the YouTube stream thumbnails, the tags, the description. So maybe like 6 hours. Maybe like 6 hours just to prepare for a stream, and then doing the stream, then going back after the stream to edit the stream and make a video, then go make clips. That's a whole process in itself, but it's the work. I be trying to tell y'all, it's the same shit like hooping. The only reason why it's Twitch I can continue to do the work when it comes down to this is because I know the type of work it took to hoop and get better at that. And if there's a goal I set myself to, I gotta hold myself to that same standard and that same level of discipline. And if I don't, I simply just won't be successful. So it is what it is. You gotta find joy within the work. And mind you, it's not like I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, bro, I don't fuck with this shit. I don't wanna, this shit taking all my time and I'm just dreading all of it. I find a way as to which I could be able to maintain intrigue in the entire process. So, can you start the breakdown? I'm gonna start the breakdown within like 20 minutes. I'm gonna start the breakdown within 20 minutes. And like I'm locked in, I'm gonna make sure I start the breakdown that quick. Do you think someone can make the NBA if they started playing at 13, 14 years old? Well, most definitely. Embiid ain't played till like he was 16. I mean, of course, there's those cases. If you're talking about yourself, this is a personalized thing. Like, how well coordinated are you before you even start playing basketball? Because that has a huge influence upon what transpires. Because Embiid, he played soccer before he started playing basketball. And so he already had footwork. He already had coordination, the proprioception. Probably also a good level of full body stability. Right, being his size. So now he steps into basketball. It's like, oh, this is easy, you know? So if you're talking about your case, how much have you developed yourself in terms of motor function, right? In terms of your overall body, your ability to control that before stepping into the game. And even if you're not, I can say, for example, with me, I ain't start playing organized at least until I was in 8th grade, which I was about 12, 13 or some shit, right? And so first playing organized, I played pickup before that, but playing organized is a completely different thing. So if you're in that boat where it's like, oh, this is the first time I'm about to play a real game of basketball, everybody got jerseys, there's a clock, there's a score, right? There's definitely ways to expedite that process and learn how you could be effective like that, like way quicker, like so much faster, especially with the new shit I'm about to start doing to Patreon as well. But I'm gonna talk about that in a second because I'm really about to layer a whole bunch of shit in there. It's like, it's gonna be mainly based on exclusive breakdowns and like hyper-focused breakdowns on a certain skill. So, for example, Steph Curry moving off the ball, creating space. And then I'm going to have the breakdown for it. I'm going to show you all the reads, and I'm going to show you all a workout so you can work on the reads. And I'm also going to show you a weight room workout that's going to work on both those other two things. So it's literally going to be from start to finish, a breakdown, on-court workout, then a weight room workout. And they all fall in line. They all coincide. And I was just like, you've literally been doing this the whole time in your own personal life, but you just never showed it. You never did it. Like, you never, like, showed the application portion of it. And I'm like, do that. You know, so I'm about to start doing that. So Steph might be the first person I watch, just because that's the one as to which I know, like damn near like the back of my hand, you know what I'm saying, in terms of playing off the ball, which is something y'all need as well. And I'm going to do that every single week. A new breakdown, a new on-court workout, a new weight room workout. 3 videos a week. So, favorite YouTubers, but we can't be sliding J. Cole right now. Fuck that. I'll still play that shit in the background. I'll still play my Cole in the background, nigga. What you talking about? What you talking about? I'll still play that joint in the background. But hold on. Even speaking about that, even saying about this shit that's going on when it comes down to rap and all that other shit, the part that upsets me the most is not about the beef. It's the fact that he dropped a good ass mixtape, but the entire thing was clouded because the beef. That's what upsets me, bro. I was really like, bro, there's so many good fucking songs, so many hard ass verses, like some of the best verses he done ever dropped. And then it's all clouded by the beef. All clouded by the one song that he put at the end that he ain't really want to do. So then it's like, bro, you just fucked up the whole tape. People gonna forget everything you just dropped and remember exactly what went on with this beef. And it's just like, damn, bro. You should have just let Drake do his thing when it came down to it. And then, you know what I'm saying? But let's see what else I can get to right now. Top 3 to 5 peak point guards in the league right now. Steph, Luka has to be a point guard. Luka's a point guard. Shay's a point guard. So that's 3. If I gotta throw in 2 more, let me see some teams. I need to see some teams. I need to make sure I got everybody. I don't want to leave nobody out. Then I would have to go. It would even be tough for me to say Dame, because Dame been playing like dog water. But I mean, if we're talking point guards, shit, fuck it. Why not throw Bron in that motherfucker? Fuck around, throw Bron. I mean, Brunson on the season at least. Brunson, I could probably maybe squeeze Brunson in there. But if we're just talking skill, then Dame probably has to be in there as well, or Halliburton, and Halliburton is still hurt. So yeah, probably around those dudes. De'Aaron Fox, you know, could also throw that in there interchangeably with the Halliburton, with the Brunson. So I'll say probably those 6, and then whoever you want to throw in there at that last spot interchangeably, the last 2 spots really. Kyrie, I mean, we could. I guess we including Kyrie. I guess we can. So we could throw Kyrie in that top 4, and then mix in that last spot with those other dudes. But it's just, I've been thinking about Kyrie just being a 2, because Luka's really been the 1. But combo guard, I guess. Combo guard. He's both. You could do both. So let me see where I was at. Let me get back. How can you be smooth? Being smooth comes down to full body control. Like, how well do you control your own body? Meaning from a off the court standpoint. Of course, you can build some things by actually playing the game, but if you don't really already got it, you're going to have to get in the weight room to go and get it. A lot of people think, I'm just going to do the basketball shit, but they don't realize I lack the physical stuff, the functional strength to be able to play smooth and be able to do all these moves. I was really thinking about watching PG today as well, because he had a good game against the Cavs, but I was like, Kyrie had 48. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to watch that though. So it comes down to a physical thing. And also, let me drop the Discord link, or the Patreon link down here. Boom. Drop that in there. Pin that in the chat the whole time. So, all right, let me get back to, you can start at age before 20, the amount of work you put in. I mean, also, if you start in at like 18, it's going to be tough, because that's when you're supposed to be getting your looks and getting your offers and shit like that. Again, get into that next level. So, I mean, of course, it's going to be different at different points in time. What about a 6'2" player? You said, all right, so what about a 6'2" player? Like I said, it's still personalized. How much have you played before? And 13, 14 is not bad, I'm going to be honest. Especially if you work smart, it's not a bad age to start. It's a little later, of course. You want to be more ideal. But like I said before, though, have you never played basketball at all before? Like, is this the first time you're picking up a basketball? Or is this the first time you're playing organized? Because that's also going to indicate, like, oh, that's how much you've actually played basketball. What advice would you give for me? I'm frequently injured. I'm a late bloomer. Well, frequently injured, you got to take care of your body. You got to eat right. You got to make sure you get in the weight room. Do all those little things that fall in line with your health. You know what I'm saying? So that's the injury portion. Also, rehab your injuries fully rehab them. Don't try to jump back in too early, because in reality, you're going to be losing time. Because by getting back too early, on the back end, you're going to cut off the amount of time you could be able to play the game, because you may get hurt again. So you got to make sure you take that recovery process and all that little stuff very serious. So before you even get into late bloomer stuff, you just got to make sure you get healthy. Like, that's the first step. Don't worry about the second, third, and fourth shit. You got to take that first step. And that first step requires all of your discipline and all of your focus. So you just got to start there, Leo. I'm 17, 5'8", live in the UK. How could I get my way into American college scholarships? I tell y'all this all the time. I don't really know exactly how to get here in terms of people and the entire process. But all I can tell you about it, though, and I can guarantee you this does fall in line with what you're trying to do, is to build connections. Meet people, interact with people, get to know people and see what they do, because you never know who you could run into. So when it comes down to all that, I would say build connections. Start talking to people when you're in gyms. Start talking to your coaches. Also continue to work hard, because if you're not working hard, then you're not going to be able to even be the person that's in the right place at the right time. You know what I'm saying? So you can maximize the opportunity. So you got to make sure you, first and foremost, I tell you all this before even the relationship portion, or before the relationship stuff, you got to make sure you put the work in. You got to make sure you're disciplined, and then you're going to be able to get blessed with the opportunity afterwards. So you got to make sure you're working hard. Now you're meant to be an NBA player. It's a sad reality. I had to face that myself. That's a thing about it as well. But I'm not trying to show y'all film so all y'all can make the NBA. I'm trying to show y'all basketball so y'all learn how to get better at something. Because what you're going to have to do in life, and anything you do in any career that you're in, you're going to have to get better. Now, it boils down to, how do you get better? Now, you're not going to have to go and do drills and do dribble pull-ups to get better at whatever job or career you may be working on, right? To get better at being a realtor or some shit like that. What it's going to be is a transfer of concepts, right? Meaning that I have to apply the same level of discipline. I have to apply the same level of focus, attention to detail, the same level of just consistency on a day-to-day basis if I want to get better at my own craft, right? And so I always tell y'all, stop worrying about the actual end goal, the physical, the things that you could physically attain and all those little stuff. You got to focus on the daily growth, right? You got to focus on the process, because once you learn how to learn the actual process of growth, you'll translate that shit to anything you do in life. You can transfer that shit to anything. I guarantee you. I did the same shit with myself with basketball and doing social media. I ain't never think I would be doing social media. I didn't think I would be on Instagram. I didn't think I'd be doing YouTube. I didn't think I'd be streaming 2 hours a day for 3 days of the week. I didn't think I'd be doing some shit like this. And you can even ask the people that I knew. They probably never thought I'd do this. But I'm doing this because it falls in line with the purpose and the direction that I'm just overall headed in, right? And so basketball taught me how to be able to actually grow, how to actually improve when it comes down to a skill. So I took what I did with basketball, and I'm continuously getting better at basketball at that. And I'm just doing with the social media stuff. And then as I continue to venture off into multiple things just within life, I'm going to continue to use those same concepts so I can expedite those processes. So, let me see. Discipline, exactly. Discipline is one of the biggest ones. Discipline in itself is just that shit. Well, it's a huge chunk of the process alone. If you don't got it, I can guarantee you it ain't going to work. What's good, Jaden? Yeah, I didn't even notice you had a beard till now. That's wild. You thought I was babyface the whole time. Ramadan Kyrie too good. Hey, shouldn't Ramadan be over soon? Shouldn't that shit be over soon? Oh yeah, that shit's over tomorrow. Hope Kyrie don't fall off. There's no way he falls off, bro. There's no way. I started when I was 17 and almost play every day in basketball clubs. U21. Some shit just click faster than certain people, but you will never know until you try, until you actually go and do it. You know what I'm saying? Until you actually go and do it. When is it too late? I mean, it depends. It depends. But I tell y'all this, like I just said, don't start basketball and think, can I make the NBA? Start basketball and say, how can I get better every day? That's all I want you to say to yourself. How could I get better every day? What must I do to get better every day? And so now you got to look at the processes of just improvement of people within the craft. Like Kobe. One thing that Kobe said that always resonates with me, if anything I do, is that you want to be able to go to sleep, look back at your days and be able to say, I am better than I was when I woke up. I'm better than I was when I started this day. If I can't say that comfortably, wholeheartedly, then it's like I'm not working hard enough. I got to do more. Or if you say if it's a situation where it's I feel as though I could have done more and I chose not to do so, that shit hurts even more, because by the time comes a game, that's where that regret kicks in. That's where that regret kicks in. It's like, damn, I wish I would have done more, so I'm more prepared for what's going on now. So that's a tough thing. Let me get some water. This is my first year organized basketball, and I've been working harder than everyone in the team and only get 8 minutes and no confidence. Confidence comes down to trust. Trust, you build that through reps. Are you working on the things that you're actually going to see in the game? That just comes the main question. That becomes a real question. You know what I'm saying? Are you working on the stuff that you need to do to be able to get time on the floor? That's the question. A lot of people don't. Your own YouTube channel that does everything to get us better. Let's get them 100K. Hey, 100K on the way. 100K on the way. I'm trying to tell you, 100K this year. 100K this year. We shooting for it. He says it needs to be clipped. Hey, y'all can go ahead and clip it. I probably won't even get around to like this VOD to clip stuff for a minute. But peep Discord. I'm gonna try to peep Discord. My goal is to start the breakdown by 25:30 into the stream, and then after that, boom, cool out hour in. Discipline is universal, and giving up when things aren't going right will only hurt you in every craft. I tell. Exactly, bro. It's everything, bro. It's concepts, and it's principles you gotta live by in any craft that you do. And I'll even look at people in just completely different lanes, you know what I'm saying, doing completely different things, but you'll realize there's always that same commonality, right? It's a different leaf, but it's different leaves, but the same tree. I be trying to tell y'all, that's a gem, bro. Hold on. It's different tree. It's a different leaf. It's different fruit, but it's all from the same tree, because when you look back where everything stemmed from, it's the same core every single time. It's like, yo, how this person becomes successful, how that person becomes successful, how are they also not just to get to the point of success, like a one-time thing, how do they sustain it, right? And those people who sustain it operate at a certain level. And so now I'm looking at those principles, looking at those concepts, I'm like, yo, it all goes right back to the same root, right? It all comes right back to the same thing. So what did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. Do you want to coach, or would you rather be a trainer? I ain't gonna lie. I was watching like the women's March Madness stuff, and if I actually coached any sort of like real basketball team, I would coach a women's basketball team. I don't know if I would head coach it. I don't know. I have to see how this shit just looks like behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of the day-to-day process, I don't know if I would head coach, but who knows? I'm not gonna close my, you know what I'm saying, shut off the opportunity and like say no right now. But because the game in itself is, one, is disrespected, right? And two, there's just so much room for growth. And I just look at the game, I'm like, there's so much, this shit could really do so much more than what it's doing now. All it needs is just the knowledge and application of things. And I know I could take the knowledge and the application of things and put it into the game. And so it's like, that's one thing as to which I would really be interested in doing, because it's that and also on the fact of in men's basketball, a lot of people got egos. A lot of people just don't value the game that much. They not receptive. You know what I'm saying? They be playing for monetary reasons, for money, for clout, for fame, to get girls and shit. Like, I ain't trying to deal with all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to deal with all that shit. Now, of course, men, women, they come with all their ups and all their downs and everything like that, the positives and negatives. But that's some shit I wouldn't really want to deal with. And the people that would think on that same level in terms of overall in men's basketball, that's not often. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be playing for themselves. So that's one thing I would really be interested in doing. Have you ever watched a BBL game? Mo, you's a horny motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. You watched a BBL game of basketball. You watched a BBL game of basketball game. Wow, you crazy. How do I stop comparing myself to other players on the court? I always have this problem, which makes my performance on game bad. Hey, Russell, you know some crazy, a gem I heard this week. If you just look at who we are as human beings, we are not even meant to see ourselves. The only reason we can see ourselves is because things that are man-made, a camera, a mirror, right? The only way, if you even go back in time, before there's even the mirror, there are even cameras. The only way people were even able to somewhat see themselves was by looking in a lake. That's the only way, right? They had to go look in a lake to be able to kind of see what they look like. And so just from a standpoint of in life as a whole, we're always looking at what everybody else has, but never and look at ourselves internally and see what we have, right? Because we all have some sort of seed, right, that's been embedded within us that's unique from everybody else, that's different from everybody else. It's just how well do you nourish that and understand what your superpower is, right? How well are you able to grow that? How well are you able to consistently stay true to that? And so oftentimes we get clouded because we always want to look at everybody else instead of looking at what we have for ourselves. And so when it comes down to that as a whole, it's just like you now have to understand that everybody is made different. There's something within you that separates you from everybody else. It's just you have to go about it and find it, right? You have to go about and figure out what exactly that is. And the best thing I can say when it comes down to that is that if you live right morally, you move the right way, you'll be able to find exactly what that is. And also you got to continue to question. You got to question certain things. So at least your awareness of you comparing yourself to everybody on the floor, that's the first step, awareness. So I'll say that you got to understand what you do good. You got to look at yourself. You got to self-reflect. I just saw the LeBron being satanic. What you think about? It really made me think. LeBron being satanic. I don't know if I could believe that. I had bad confidence. For me, what helped is having a little voice in your head that hypes you up and says you score good, but it's a little bit delusional. It is delusional, but I would also tell you this. If it comes down to confidence, use past positive reflection, where you reflect on your past to bring confidence to your present. So you just reflect on all the good things that you've done, right? All the great games you've had, and then go into another game, and that's the only thing you remember. So if you mentally tell yourself that, subconsciously, you're gonna almost force yourself to replicate exactly that. You just have to fully believe in your capability to do it. And usually what also does is the best medicine for confidence is just simply working harder, right? Getting more reps up, getting in the gym for more time, right? Not just in one sitting, but just more often and working on the right things. Usually that heals a lot of the issues when it comes down to confidence. How do I use my bag in a real game? The question is, we have different interpretations of what bag means. You probably see bag as all the moves that you've seen PG, Kyrie, Luka, all these dudes do, and now you've worked on them, and now you want to do it in the game. I simply see a bag as your ability just to use a certain move at a certain time according to what the defense is giving you, and not, I want to be able to do this move and do that move and do that move, because it's all going to be changed and influenced depending on how you're getting guarded. And you always want to keep shit as simple as you can, as often as you can. So we have different interpretations. And so how do you use your moves that you have in your bag? You must know your defense so you know what move to use. Not just your defender. I said the defense, the entire unit of defense. And I'm going to talk about some of that stuff today. More than 5 minutes when I'm injured, I haven't developed. Hey, Leo, I can't make that decision for you. You got to spend time by yourself. I'm not here to tell you if you should play basketball or quit basketball. You got to make that decision for yourself. I can't do that for you. I simply can't. I cannot. You know what I'm saying? That's a decision you got to make on your own by yourself. When like you literally need to spend some time alone, like with nobody around you, you and your own thoughts, figuring out and thinking through the entire situation in itself, and reflecting on what you've done, where you are, and where you want to get to. I'm not here to make those life decisions for you. I'm not. I can tell you that. Say 10 times for every game, bro. All right, bro. That's wild as fuck. That's wild as fuck. I be struggling with that and try techniques, but not really working. What exactly part? If I got the bag, you just need to have confidence to do it. Essentially, but a lot of people work on moves but never know how to apply a move. So all the moves they worked on are not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? No, a lot of people don't translate, like go through a process of working on the move, actually seeing when you should use the move, right? That's one part a lot of y'all forget. When should I use this move? Y'all don't know when you should use a move. You just want to do it because it looks pretty, it looks nice, it looks cute and whatnot, right? But in reality, you got to understand when you see somebody do a move over and over and over again, you got to understand what they're seeing so you know when to use it. That's what a lot of y'all skip over. And that's the type of stuff I'm going to really highlight in the Patreon when I start doing the breakdowns, the on-court workouts, going through a translation phase, and then also doing an on-court, off-court workout, like a weight room workout, and where all of that stuff coincides. All of that stuff is helping you get better at a certain skill, hyper-focusing at all levels. And that's going to start next week. I'm about to start doing that next week. Monday is probably going to be the first one. How good could a starter on JV that average 20 get in one summer? As hard as you work and as hard as you believe. There's no limitation. I can tell you that. There's no limitation. As hard as you work, as smart as you work, and as much as you believe. Let me tell you, I can just tell you that right there. Ingram breakdown. I feel like he's the type of player I play most likely. Excited to build. Height and weight. Sayer, there's a lot of people in here as well. There's a lot of people watch the video. So it's not like I could just watch one Brandon Ingram video because of you. But I could keep it in mind for when if he does have a good game going forward. That's what I could do. Any advice for someone who has played center his or her whole life is now switched to point guard next year? Are you even ready to play point guard? That's the real question. That's the real question. Since I started watching Become Way Better. Thanks for breakdown, especially really grateful. Hey, appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Matish. I was trying to have a Brunson bag, but yesterday I was hooping with someone on top of the top players in my state, and I was able to cook and find my bag. British Basketball League. Okay, I was about to say, have I watched the BBL game? I'm like, bro, what type of horny shit is you on? But hey, keep using whatever is working, and understand why it's working. Who is it working against, and the type of way he guards. Because it's not going to work against every single defender. Because y'all don't even realize the same way you have an offensive archetype, there's defensive archetypes. That's a conversation for a different day. The same way you be seeing shit in 2K that's like a two-way playmaker, a shot creating sharpshooter, or some shit like that, right? What you call it? Two-way glass cleaner or some shit. The same thing applies on defense. It's just that people have only evolved offense, so now they could gain these terms and understand these styles. If you were to go back in 1980, they'd probably been like, what the fuck is that sort of specialty? But now, if you go to now, it's like, yo, you see all these different ways, all these different terms that represent a certain person's play style. But how about the person's defensive style? And I really may just come up with a whole set of terminology for defensive styles. Because I was talking about it a little bit last stream, but I really want to show that defense can be evolved, and it's going to do so. What's your bid on 2K? I don't play 2K. I haven't played 2K in like 16 months. I haven't played it in stupid long because all I've been doing is this. I've just been doing this. You know what I'm saying? Doing this, doing school, learning things that are actually valuable. So I just have not had time to play any game at all, really. As a 6-foot skinny freshman, the best thing y'all can learn, doesn't matter what type of height you are, what your weight is, learn how to play off the ball, or learn how to play off the spot up. And that's the one thing I'm really gonna drill that shit home on the Patreon, because y'all need to learn that part of the game, because you'll be able to find the spot on any team if you learn how to play off the spot up. Any team, I can guarantee you. If you know how to know how to relocate, learn how to shoot off the catch, learn how to shoot on the move, all that little stuff, you will always have a spot on the team. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee you that. Focus on the tryouts, communication. Be the loudest person on the floor. Say everything you see. From Ireland overboard in general. It is possible. It is possible. You just have to have the right connections. Calipari leaving Kentucky. I didn't even know he left Kentucky. Hasn't he got like first round outed in like the past like 5 or 6 years or some shit? 5 out of the last 6 years or some shit like that. What do I study? Kinesiology, exercise science. You said, what do you? Or if you're talking about school, I was talking about school. In college, I studied kinesiology, exercise science. But if you're talking like basketball, who do I study often? Right now, I've been on a crazy AI wave. Off stream, I've been watching crazy amount of AI. I've been watching a lot of AI off stream. Crazy amount of AI. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I've been watching a good bit of AI. Let me tell y'all that. Based on skill, which team do you think will win the chip this year? If I had to put my money on it, I'll go Denver. If I had to put my money on it, I'll go Denver. Most playoff ready. Already got the experience. They well-rounded, versatile. You know what I'm saying? Coming off a chip last year as well. So, are you on scholarship? Would you like on a scholarship type shit? I got the breakdown pulled up right now. Let me find this. How do I feel about the J. Cole thing? I talked about it a little bit before. I'm gonna say this. The beef we was talking about before Sayer, I don't even remember if I responded, but it was a Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole shit, right? If you want to, you can just go to Twitter, go to Instagram, you'll see everything you need to see about it. And so first things first, when Kendrick first said something, I was just like, damn, bro. I always have this little bit of hope in my heart to get a J. Cole Kendrick collab album. But then at that point, I was like, bro, fuck, I don't even know if I'm gonna get that shit no more. Damn. You know what I'm saying? I always had this little slim slight bit of hope. I don't know if it maybe it still can. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna talk about behind closed doors, but I know that's something as to which would go diamond. What is diamond? You speak? It's fucking 10 times platinum. You know what I'm saying? So that would be probably one of the greatest rap albums in history. And it's only because they teased it before. I would never thought it if they ain't teased it, but they've done it before. So it's like, always want to have that slim bit of hope that it could possibly happen at some point in time. But at this point, I don't know. And then boom, the shit dropped. And it was like, some of the stuff in terms of the mixtape in itself, I don't even want to talk too much, but in the mixtape in itself, I'm really upset on the fact that a lot of the songs that are really gems and are really good are clouded because of that diss track. Like, if you look from top to bottom, like from the start, Pricey, Crocodile Tears, Ready, then you got Hunting Rabbits, then you got HYB, that I damn near remember this whole shit, Sticks and Stones, Pie. Like, you got all them songs. They're good as shit. Great verses, great bars, right? But then everyone just goes to the bottom, and that's what they want to talk about. So it's like he dropped a whole collection of songs, but people are not going to give him the credit he deserves for all that shit he just dropped, right? And so now it's all been clouded just because of that. And even when you just kind of even look at where it started even entirely, the J. Cole caught a stray from Kendrick because he was doing songs with Drake. And Kendrick never fucked with Drake. Going back to like 2013, 2015, he caught a stray. And he got peer pressured into dropping a diss as to which he really didn't want to do. But everyone was telling him, yo, go do that shit. Go drop that shit, bro. You got to go off now. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you've been saying you the greatest. You've been saying you're the best, bro. It's war. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he really didn't even want to do it. He was like, bro, I still fuck with him. I'm still cool with him. So he got peer pressure like a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. He got peer pressure. And that's where you got to really think over certain shit before you even do it. So peer pressure is the most dangerous thing in the world, bro. You got to be careful about that. So yeah, that's what I think about it. And I'm not even trying to spend a crazy amount of time just even thinking about this shit entirely, because a lot of people, they're mad. Literally, I don't even think people even realize. Like, people sitting here really mad, like angry, upset, frustrated, right? Because what Cole did and what he decided to do for himself. And now they're going to their 9 to 5s. They going to their part-time jobs, going to school, and they mad because of some shit that someone who never even heard of you before has done. And someone that you don't even know has done. And so now it's really just become a distraction. It's really become a distraction. If you ask me from an individual standpoint, it's a distraction. And so that's something I thought about. I was like, oh, what do people think? And I'm like, why do I care what people think? It's limiting my ability to then further grow myself and what I'm trying to get done. So this shit is really a distraction for a lot of people. So, yeah. You think K-Dot? I don't know. I have no clue. I think Kendrick will respond to Drake if he drops some shit, most definitely, because he's been dissing Drake for fucking a decade. He's been dissing Drake for a decade, and so if Drake responds, Kendrick's definitely clapping back at that. But I don't know about J. Cole. I don't know. I think Cole just caught it straight because he was fucking with somebody Kendrick ain't fuck with. So that's the tough thing. That's the part about it. And even in reality, like when you even look at what Kendrick said in correlation to J. Cole, it was in regards to a bar. So I think Cole went about dissing the wrong way, where he tried to discredit him and shun him down. He should have just been like, I'll out rap you, I'll out bar you. And like, you know what I'm saying? If we dropped a verse on the same track, I will outdo you type shit. Instead of saying, oh, your albums aren't good. You can't do this, you can't do that. Cole could have won a battle if it was, okay, let's do a verse on the same song and see who's better type shit. Like if we look at verses, you look at all that shit. All right, let's duel, right? Who got a better pen? Who got better cadence? Who got better rhythm? All right, who got better bars? Cole could have won that battle. But if you try to go for like at discographies, it's hard to do that on either side. You know what I'm saying? And if anything, people are gonna side to Kendrick because he's more precise with his album. So that's the thing about it as well. And by the way, the Rockets are fucking cooked. Oh my gosh, they sold the fuck out this game, boy. Who's a good off-ball NBA player? I mean, it's really, you could say the stats of the Clays. Then you could also go down to like the Kevin Huerters, you know what I'm saying, the Buddy Hields. I like to watch players who have layers to playing off the ball, which is why like Steph, especially early on, is someone I watched all the time. But I didn't have the handle, but I just understood the off-ball aspect of things and getting open and finding room and the constant movement, like those little stuff. You can even go back in time. JJ Redick, you can watch a JJ Redick. Like you just think about any spot-up player. You go Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, Rip Hamilton. Like those are guys I even watched because I was like, oh, Curry learned from them. Let me go back and watch them. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of players you could really watch. It's just about understanding the same concepts that they all do to be able to get open and get their room, and it's really all the same. When you watch it, it's really all the same. They crazy locked in. They're 9-1. They last 10. Leo. They is locked in. I watch YouTubers named Screwface, Jimmy Reaction. He was mad as fuck. J. Cole as a fan. That's the thing about it's like I understand where the apology came from a spiritual aspect. Like he was just like, this is not me. You know what I'm saying? This is not me. So even in the first place, you should have just asked yourself, should I do it? Because like I said, he was peer pressured into doing some shit. And so you should have said, all right, do I want to even do this? Like, is this even worth it? And he did a whole song for it, which is where I also think he messed up. He should have just adjusted some bars in a couple songs and then threw in like a quick 4. You know what I'm saying? Like he shouldn't have gone and did a whole 3-minute joint where you're trying to pull out a bunch of strings and try to pluck at something, but it was really hard for those arrows you're trying to throw to hit home, right? To actually hit the bullseye, right? So that's the tough part about it as well. So it's like, damn. Also, you've been saying you're the greatest, and so now if you want to dethrone the people that if you want to dethrone the artists that people put in front of you, you're going to have to go at them, but you don't want to go at them. You're just simply going to be in the same spot that you were, and he's got to live with that. Right, he's got to live with that, and I'm saying that as a Cole fan too. If a majority of people gonna say you're the third, right? You're behind Kendrick, behind Drake, and now it comes to the point where you can't duck the smoke. Like we got to run the ones, right? You're gonna now just have to be able to say, all right, I'll take whatever y'all say, you know, unless you don't care about it, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about that whole situation is that he's just gonna have to live with the fact that he's just simply going to be 3, and at this point, the only thing that could bring him up is if he drops literally like classic albums. Like if the fall off is like absolutely impeccable, right? Meaning like you gonna throw that shit at like where people rank To Pimp a Butterfly, where people rank his Forest Hills, where you rank like Drake's best albums, unless he drops some shit that good. That's on. Then he's just gonna be at 3 the whole time. So we gonna have to see. Oh, JD, you said my favorite player. My favorite player in the league right now is Kyrie. All time is Kobe. Right there. All time is Kobe. So, no one to repeat the bars. They was just like talking about exactly, bro. No one peeped the bars. This was just upsetting. How do I still perform when people on your own team put you down and tell you stop shooting, stop passing? Well, you got to get in the gym, get better, and prove them wrong if you actually want to keep taking those shots. If you want to keep taking those shots, as simple as that. It's as simple as that, bro. After one mistake and one miss, also realize that they do the same shit. They miss a shot, they make a mistake. But if you're literally doing that shit every single time, then it's like, okay, I really got something fucked up. But if it's just one time, it's like you got to continue to trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are gonna question you, but when push comes to shove and you reflect on the work that you put in, and if you have put enough work, you'll never question yourself. So you'll never question yourself. Jabari better hit 100 free throws in a day. He missed both. And mind you, Van Vliet missed 1 free throw as well. Van Vliet missed a free throw. Have you peeped Atlanta rookie Sag Medique going off for 7 points? Nah, I don't even know who he is. Is he actually nice? Is he actually solid? I'll probably end up seeing it coming across him at some point in time. Your legs destroyed? Make sure you drink your water. Make sure you drink some water, because I know if your legs are destroyed, you're just tired. You probably done worked a lot. So you got to make sure you get re-nourished. Do you think having a good diet is a diet, if you want to play at your highest level, is one of the most important things you need to have. Do you really want to play at your highest level? Like I put it up there with actually doing the workouts and doing all that little stuff, because diet is the recovery. If your body doesn't recover well, you're going to get injured. So you want to get injured? How do I improve my crossover? How to become shifty? I have a clip on crossovers in this breakdown. And so let me get this shit pulled up. Pulled up on my story. Let me drop this on my story, because I literally have a Luka Doncic clip in here that I want to talk about 3 aspects of a crossover that y'all really need. And I'm probably going to even end up putting some workouts up on them as well. So first and foremost, let me get this posted on the ground. We 42 minutes in? We cutting the time down. I expect AI breakdown soon. You're going to get one in the summer. You're going to get one in the summer. You're going to get an AI breakdown in the summer. I can guarantee you that. Let me find a quick clip of Kyrie. And by the way, I got some Luka stuff in here as well. So let me go back. I got Kyrie and I got Luka, because Luka did go off. He had 37, 9, and 12. Ridiculous. So it's like, I got to peep some shit. But boom. Give me 1 sec. Boom, got that. Got that. Got that. Got that. Got that. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Boom, boom. And it's not working. Bro, Instagram just be bugging on me sometimes, bro. That shit just be bugging. Like, some shit just doesn't work. I don't know, was it Friday or was it Wednesday or some shit like that? Shit was just not working. And now the shit not working again. I literally don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I don't think they want me to shine. I think Instagram hating on me, bro. I think Instagram hating on me, bro. This shit just keep happening to where shit just not working. Can't fucking paste links and shit. Shit don't make sense. This shit, my phone bugging out. I gotta restart my phone. All right. If I restart my phone, it's just Kai had 48, 7 and 2. I think I went to the game. It was phenomenal to see them too. Chemistry together. Oh shit, that's dope. I haven't been to an NBA game in fucking at least like 8 years, like 8, 9, maybe a decade almost, damn near. Sag Medika's Crazy Shifty. I'll definitely come across his name if you like that. How do I exceed as a slow, unathletic player? You play the angles and you play the game smart. And you got to also understand that even though you are slow, if you know how to manipulate pace and be able to slow down and speed up to your fastest to manipulate the defender and get them to get their engine going, then you could be able to continuously play slow and the game will be in your favor. I done played with and against like numerous players who are slow. And you always find the same thing within all of them is that you can't speed them up. You cannot speed them up. So, let me try to see if this shit works. Let's see if this shit works. He trolling about that rookie player? I don't even know. You're acting like I know. Regardless, if he wasn't trolling, if he was trolling, I'll see. Let's see if this works now. If this shit still don't work, we just gonna start the breakdown. We just gonna start the breakdown. Simple as that. Boom, boom, boom. Get there. Get that. Get that. Get that. Get that. Get that. Finally, this shit's working. My phone was bugging. All right. Appreciate that sub, Jose. Appreciate that sub. My phone was bugging. All right. The link is working now. Give me about 1 minute and we starting the breakdown. Give me about 1 minute. Give me like 60 seconds. There we go. There we go. All right, boom. Followed on IG, bet that. You said you're going to break down PG. What PG did yesterday? It was either Kyrie or PG. I ended up going Kyrie and Luka. I ain't gonna lie. I ended up going Kyrie and Luka. But he's still trolling with these different names, bro. You still trolling with different names? Really go for real sharing all these gems? Bro, got more gems. Got more gems in the tuck. Got more gems in the tuck. You know what I'm saying? But let me get this there. Let me get that there. Let me get that right there. And also let me drop it into the Discord right quick as well. Let me let the people in the Discord know. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we locked in. Got any advice for me feeling like my training isn't converting to a real game? Then train like it's a real game. If it feels like it's not like a real game, all you got to do is train like it's a real game. It really be that simple. It really be that simple. Y'all just got to get more direct with what you want to get better with. If you want to get better at shooting, start shooting more. And make it as simple as possible. If you want to get better at dribbling, start dribbling more and make it as simple as possible and then work your way up. It's that simple. And I'm going to show y'all how to literally make it that simple. In the Patreon, when I start doing the breakdown, the on-court workout, then the weight room workout, all that shit. From start to finish. From start to finish. Yo, I got a Kyrie jersey for this one. Got a Kyrie jersey on. It's crazy. But let me get some more water and we about to get started. But here we go. Got that. Boom. All right, let's lock in. Kyrie, like I said, Kyrie, Luka, ball handling, efficiency. Most important when it comes down to ball handling. But when it comes down to Kyrie, Kyrie is a master ball handler, probably the greatest ball handler of all time. He could do any move, but 99% of his game looks like this, right? He keeps most of the shit that he does simple because he doesn't waste dribbles, one, and two, he's strategic. So watch what he does when he gets it on his right wing. He's got Van Vliet. He's not looking at Van Vliet, by the way. Jabari Smith is the one he's watching. And now notice what he does as soon as he gets out the paint, right? Or as soon as he leaves that block. Gets there, gets to his float game right there and then. Because he can't finish at the rim with Jabari Smith there. He's smart. Now notice how he conserves all his dribbles going forward so that when he does use his dribble, he's really a threat. Wear your water for this one. Y'all got to make sure y'all got y'all water, baby. Y'all don't drink enough water. Y'all don't drink enough water. You got to lock in. Why is he watching the person that isn't the primary defender? Because y'all got to understand this when it comes down to playing one-on-one, right? When you play with a team, you have one person in front of you, but you're going against 4 other players. And they're players who are going to take away other levels of scoring. So when it comes down to Kyrie in a situation like this, going against Van Vliet and the person in front of him, I've done that my whole life. I played one-on-ones my whole life. I know how to score against them like that, right? That's second nature. But what's going to limit me in my ability to actually score in a 5-on-5 setting is who's off the ball and is going to take away what I want to get to. And now you got to figure out what are they going to leave open and how can I get into those gaps and those opportunities. And so now in a situation like this, once he leaves that block, I rip through, he steps back over, and now I could get to where he was before I attacked. So now I could get into that floater. You got to read the off ball defenders. That's the key. That's the ultimate key because they're going to take away this shit as to what you may want to get to in a simple one-on-one, but they're going to leave something else open. So if you brush your teeth, we wouldn't notice. But now on this next play, I want to talk about another aspect of ball handling, right? I want to talk about this as well. Kyrie would not be the ball handler that he is if he did not have the skill right here on this play, which is the ability to continuously dribble and find gaps while getting contact, right? And just notice this next possession, right? Notice this next angle, right? Notice all the hands, and they did not call this a foul. A lot of players get in this situation right there, and they automatically fold from all this contact, right? They fall, they get off balance, they get thrown offline. Kyrie could get through all that because he has functional strength. And if you want to gain that, you got to make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link in the chat and link in the description. And now let's talk about some Luka. What's good, man? What's good? What's good? And also, it's, by the way, it's not like a lot of people get it so misconstrued. They think they got to start lifting like an Olympic lifter, like a bodybuilder, so they can be able to get through that contact. But you got to just get functional strength. And you need strength in the right parts of your body if you want to be able to stay on balance in those ranges and those spots. So it's body, you got to understand that. What should you do on your days you can't hoop or lift? I mean, can you really not hoop nor lift? That's a real question. And if you really can't, I would say you could dribble. I know you could dribble because all you need is a ball and some concrete. Or you could do conditioning. One of those two. You can do one of those two. And now peep this as well. Luka also got smart attacks. It's just understanding his space and the options. And these are things as to which they don't consciously think in real time. I also want to emphasize that as well, right? I want y'all to really understand that Luka, Kyrie, all these scorers are not thinking full thoughts in real time. They already know where they want to get to and who they have on them before the game even starts. And so by the time Luka ends up getting here and attacking, right, and I got Kyrie on this right side, Dylan Brooks trying to plug in as much as he can, Luka could kick to Kyrie, but he knows he's baiting. And he knows also I got a small guard on Van Vliet on me, and I can shoot that over the top all day. So I'm going to get into that before I try to fall into Dylan Brooks' bait on that help. And now I want to talk about the defensive side of this, right? I want to talk about the defensive side. So if you're a small guard like Van Vliet right here, and you got to guard a big guard like Luka, this is how you do it. Watch what he does. He switches up into his body, hands active, gets a hand on the ball. Gafford gets it right back. And now Gafford tries to get the ball back to Luka. What is Van Vliet doing? Not trying to get no steals. Reaches there to disrupt rhythm, right? To keep him on his heels, keep him on his toes, and so that he can't cover ground. And at this time, he's got 6 seconds on the shot clock, right? 6 seconds on the shot clock. And he has to attack from half court, stay in front of all these moves. That side got 2 help defenders. Don't jump trying to block a shot because I'm too small. I can't block nothing, right? Doing everything on the ground to disrupt your rhythm. You shoot that, and as low key as he almost hit it, but you just need to do enough to get the miss, right? You got to remain active. You got to do all the little things just so you can be able to get those stops. And you can't do that if you're not conditioned. Let me also change the chat type right quick. Boom. But now I want to talk about one more thing on defense right quick as well. That was good defense. This is great defense too. This right here by Amen is great defense. So notice this, right? Watch Amen guard Luka right here, right? This is something I never see defenders really do, especially when guarding a player like Luka, because Luka plays with pace, right? And so understand this concept. What makes Luka so hard to guard is because he plays with pace and defenders don't know pace. But this is how it looks like to have pace on defense. So our man gets Luka. He's sitting here staying in front. He's not going to try to reach. He's not going to try to be over aggressive and get Luka out of his pace because you know you can't get Luka out of his own pace. So now what is he going to do? Stay in front, stay solid, move with him, right? Not trying to speed up, move at that same slow rate. And just by staying disciplined, I'm able to get that steal. The little things like that. Like dropping down your pace as a defender is something that's way harder than a lot of people even think. Because you got to even think about it like this, right? Every time we do defensive drills as kids in high school or college, we're always taught to go fast. Hold on, this is a gem. We really got to think about this, right? We really got to think about this. The reason why players like Luka who use pace are so tough to guard is because they are able to manipulate defenders who never know how to play defense with pace other than 100%. Every time since high school, middle school, pre-K, even to college, even in the pros, you do defensive slides, they say go as fast as you can, left to right, right? As hard as you can, as fast as you can. So by the time you get into a game and someone's trying to put you to sleep with all these little size ups, these slow ass dribbles, and now they start changing pace and they go from 0 to 100 to 40 to then 80 to then 60, then back to 70. As a defender, all you know is 0 to 100. So you're bound to get cooked. You're bound to get cooked. You're done. It's GG's. You can't do nothing about it because you simply have not trained for it. But if you get a defender who knows how to move their feet at different rates and different speeds, then they can stay in front of a player who now dribbles and moves at different rates and different speeds. Right? So now it's going to be easier to stay in front of a Luka. Not saying it's going to be easy, but it's not going to be as difficult because you're used to moving with pace. Not from a unilateral stance, but from a bilateral stance where your feet are next to each other and you got to slide and step. No one has ever trained to do that. Nobody at all. Never in my life have I seen a coach, a trainer tell a player, slide your feet at 50%. Slide your feet at 75%. Slide your feet at 30%. So you know how to guard a player who has pace. That might be the gem of the year. That might be a gem of the year. That might be a gem of the year right there. That's something I even just thought about right now. I was like, oh shit, got him. Some guys playing way too up, kind of like that. Be even having edgy hit my nose. It was so annoying. Both the Thompson twins underrated defenders. They just need to establish themselves as defenders. They just need to establish themselves as defenders. Stream lagging or just you? I'm not sure. I haven't got any notifications over here. So I have to practice changing of pace, defensive slides. It might lag like slightly at certain points in time just because of frames, but I thought it should be straight. But I haven't got no noties over here. I haven't said my frame dropped at all. But whatchamacallit? I would say that you can't like that. Like I said, what comes down to training and moving with different pace laterally, that seems is the most effective, most direct method as to getting better at it. Learning how to literally just change your pace on your defensive slides. Then another issue is people don't even know how to move bilaterally, move as a defender. They don't know how to do that entire movement. And so that's a different way of learning. And so even like when it comes down to learning how to move as a defender, a lot of people, like, this is another gem. Like, Y'all, if y'all want, you can search up the terms if y'all want, right? But I'm just gonna explain it to y'all. So there's unilateral and then there's bilateral. Unilateral is when you're sprinting, when you're taking steps, like 1, 2, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you move as an offensive player. But as a defender, your feet are next to each other, right? You're squared, right? And now you can play at angles, but you mostly have to be able to shift your weight between and then step, step, step. And now you may be like, oh, Luka can move all this way he can on offense, right? But he can't play no defense. It's because it requires two completely different movement patterns. And so you can't think someone can move the same exact way they do on offense and move that way on defense and be a lockdown defender. Luka's played his whole life with the ball in his hands, learning how to move as an offensive player. If you put him on the defensive side, the same thing would apply, but to his defensive side of his game. But he just has not got he has not got the reps to moving as a defender, nor has he got himself to the point where he's moving free. He's moving creatively as a defender. If he put that time in, he could be a good defender. But people don't put that time in to learn defensive movement. All they do is learn offensive movement. Another gem. These are going to be some defensive gems of the century, man. This shit's going to be revolutionary. I thought that was normal. Was that an American thing? Like changing pace on a defensive slide? It's going to lag from time to time, but I need to go over some shit with my PC just to make sure everything's straight. But, yeah, though. That's some defensive gems over there, though, bro. Some defensive gems. That is cooking. You know what I'm saying? The stove is still on. It sound like an NBA coach. Fuck around just might be. Hey, maybe in due time. We'll see. Maybe in due time. But now let's get back to Kyrie. Right? And so watch Kyrie's attack at this point in time. And just notice where he takes all his dribbles, right? Every single one of these has a purpose. He goes left, he tries to get downhill, cut off by Van Vliet. Now he goes right. Hard drive right, cut off again. I spin, right? And now I go left because I found a gap, and what ends up happening is I get fouled. Notice how purposeful every dribble and every dribble move he does is. I really want y'all to notice every single time he attacks, he's trying to get somewhere. And if he doesn't have it, he's gonna counter. So that's the thing. It makes it look like, oh, he's trying to be fancy all the time. No, he cut off something I had, now I'm getting to my counter. Oh, he cut this off, I'm getting to my counter. If he don't cut it off, he's going. Every time. Like you seen on that last move. It's not like he hit that spin and said, oh, let me snatch back and step back. No, I got the angle to the rim. I'm going to keep going. I got my angle. So, is it better to watch a ton of film or a small bit and really apply a small bit to your game instead of watching loads of film and not taking much in? You got to watch film on... It's not bad to watch a lot of film, but you need to watch a lot of film on the right stuff. So, essentially, the small bit portion where you're talking about, all right, let me watch a small bit, you could condense the type of shit that you're working on. Right, to where it's like, okay, you can work, you are watching things you need to watch, but you can watch a lot of film. And I'm gonna really drill this home. Like, I'm gonna do a abundance of this. I'm really gonna talk about a lot. When I told you I'm gonna start doing this new structure on the exclusive breakdowns on the Patreon, where I'm gonna show y'all, like, mentally, before you even get on the floor, you have to drill in the reps, right? You have to drill in what you're gonna see before you even get there and you're seeing it, so that you could almost expedite the process of applying what you need to know in the game. Like, I kid you not, when I was in high school, I would just sometimes sit there and just consume and just watch the same Curry clips, same Curry off-ball clips over and over and over and over, and I would almost put myself in my shoes, right? I'll get transcendental, right? And I'll be like, okay, if I'm really Steph Curry in the situation, I'm coming off of this screen, I'm seeing this is out of my peripheral, I got the core, I got the crowd, I got this looking like this, the boom, this is baseline, sideline, right? I'm coming off this angle. I'm putting myself directly in his shoes so that I could understand the type of shit that he sees and be able to make the same type of decisions. And so ultimately, it allowed me to understand what I got to read at certain point in times by the time I got into a game, right? And so sometimes even I would just watch that, and then I could just directly go do it because I know exactly what I need to see. And I know it is fact, right? You got to understand this. Before players get into games, they have either it's going to be a fact, right? Understanding how I got to read this help side, or it's going to be something that they fully believe and they got to go test. And then once they go test and see if it works, then I know this is going to work. Like Luka, I showed y'all with that spin. Once he got right and then got into that spin, it is a fact. I could shoot over Fred VanVleet, right? I know I could do that before I go in. So when I get in the spot, I know I can shoot this over the top. So everything I do requires no thought. That's a bar. That's a bar. That's a bar right there. Everything. I don't even know what the fuck I just said, but you may have to go back because I don't know what the fuck it was. I was just like, oh shit, got it. But yeah, like a lot of the shit that they do, it boils down to them already knowing I could do some shit before I even do it. Because I already did it so many times and I already know who I'm going against. I know all these variables and I just go do it and I don't need to think. Right? And so mentally you need to see it. Physically you need to do it. And then of course like fix the little things within it. Fix the little nuances as you go about it. And then by the time you'll get yourself to the point where I know this is fact. I know this is going to work. And so that's what it is a lot of times. Like even when it comes down to ISO, when it comes down to reads, when it comes down to all that shit, like you really look at all those different aspects and it's like, oh, I know I could do this. I know I got this. I know how to make that read. I know if they're doing this, I got this. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all fact based. It's just that a lot of people don't have the mental discipline to allow it to be ingrained. So that shit's lagging again. I'm gonna fix some shit next stream though. I'll fix it next stream. I can't really do shit about it right now. Let me double check. Let me see if I can't even adjust nothing right now. I ain't gonna lie. I can't even adjust nothing. Boom, at that time, 538, 530. I can't adjust much right now. I can't adjust much of it right now, but I got y'all next stream. As long as it's not atrociously bad to where it's like crazy, but if you see like little frame rate drops, then just keep it pushing because you just gotta stay in the flow. You just gotta give everything we need to. You know what I'm saying? Nigga forehead so long, Kyrie thought it was Earth. Oh, okay. But let's get back to this. Let's get back. Let me make sure I got everything closed as well. Let me close all the tabs I got open, everything that may take some shit up right quick. Boom. Take that off, take off that. All right, let's see how we rock from this point on. Hopefully you should be straight. But hopefully it's gonna be a little better. I'm gonna fix it next stream though. Ain't gonna be no more lagging. I have 1440p as a quality on here, and then the bit rate gotta be higher and all that other shit. I may just drop it down to 1080. So let's get back to this though. Let's get back to Luka, right? So the same thing with Kyrie is the same thing with Luka. He plays with his pace and all his dribbles have a purpose and they also play with great angles, right? So when Luka gets the switch right here at Jeff Green, right? Clear out right here by Kleba, watch his drive, right? Watch his feet. Most importantly, watch his feet. All these steps right here. That one going like he's attacking the rim. That one going as like he's attacking the rim. Next one, like he's attacking the rim, but not quite because the first two led to that last one, broke Jeff Green's base, and now he could stop and get into a step back because he's already sprinting down and I have space and the momentum to be able to get to where I need to get to. Do you do skincare? Lagging ass, bro. I didn't even see no notifications on here, which is weird. But is it crazy bad? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, like on a legit scale of 1 to 10, what would y'all say it is? Like how bad is the lag? Like is it just slowly? Like is it dropping frames and then getting back? Because that's usually what it might be sometimes. But I don't have a skincare routine. I don't got no skincare routine or anything like that. But peep this right here though, right? Peep this weak side. So if you still think players read the player in front of them at all times, you're dumb. Watch Luka. As he gets right, watch Jock Landale. He's going onto this paint. And then Luka swings that straight to the corner. And now Derrick Jones gets a wide open three and knocks it down. They don't just watch what's going on in front of them. It's everything that's going on the floor. And most importantly, the weak side. Because I already know the action I'm doing. It's just how is the help defense gonna load up? It's fine. All right, let's just let it rock. If it's gonna lag, I can't do much about it, like I said. But I'm gonna fix it next stream, so there's gonna be no lagging. All right, let's just lock in. See as much as you can. See as much as you can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just dropping frames. It's just dropping frames. But like I said, next stream ain't gonna be no problem. I got it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it next stream. But let's get back to this. Let's get back to Kyrie. Let's get back to Kyrie. So now, anytime Kyrie actually gets into an action like a pick and roll, he understands his coverage, and now the coverage determines his bag. And his bag is way simpler than you think. So now, with Gafford setting this screen, with Landale playing a drop, he's not going to switch. He's not really going to blitz even at this point in time, right? Kyrie now knows that if he's not going to commit to me, I don't got to worry about him. I just got to make sure the person who's trailing and trying to get back in front of me doesn't. And so he just gets left, gets in front of the person trailing behind, and now he has a clean look because Landale didn't commit. Playing smart, conserving dribbles, getting to his buckets as efficiently as possible. Are you reading the comments? A little bit. Just maybe like in between plays and stuff like that. In between plays. But if you're talking about like actual comments, like YouTube comments and Instagram comments, I'll really be peeping that. But notice this, right? So, what do you think about NoFap? Bro, you asking the wrong questions at the wrong time. It's just completely off topic, bro. We got to lock in. People in here trying to get better. And you in here talking about NoFap, bro. What are you on your third dice roll of the day, bro? You about to hit your third dice roll of the day? Come on, man. You got to lock in, bro. You got to lock in. People in here trying to get better. All right? Lock in. So peep this, right? When it comes, not even just Kyrie and himself, but his teammates as well. I want to talk about spacing right quick. I want to talk about spacing. So once Kyrie gets off the screen right here, he's got no gaps. They build the walls like Giannis has the ball, right? But notice what Cleveland now does. He now leaves because he understands Kyrie needs an area to actually go and attack. And Aaron Holiday is still guarding as if he does have help on that side. But Cam Whitmore is now left. Cam Whitmore did not communicate. And now Kyrie could go like Cleveland is telling him to do so. So he can now get to that left side. And what ultimately happens, he gets here and he gets fouled by Jabari Smith. Gets himself to the line. Spacing is crucial. And now with double teams. This is something I see all the time with Dallas. I saw this way too many times, and I was like, yo, somebody's got to fix this. And I want to connect this to y'all, right? Y'all being in the situation. So understand, if you got somebody on your team who has a lot of gravity, and you're playing off the ball, and so now you end up being Cleveland in a situation where you're cutting through, trying to give them space, don't just cut through and turn your head and run blindly. What you got to make sure you do is see if this person actually leads with you. And if they don't, you got to make sure you follow right behind so you can give an outlet, right? And so they end up kind of getting some here, right? But ultimately, you have 3 on the shot clock. You just got to grab, get the ball, boom, try to get something. Kyrie gets stripped, going up, turnover. Do you trim your nose hair to have a better jump shot? Bro, that'd be some shit, bro. I remember someone told me someone used to dribble with lotion on their hands. I forgot who it was. Someone used to dribble with lotion on their hands to get a better handle. That shit had me dying, bro. It was like the goofiest shit I've heard in a long time. That'd be some shit that y'all be thinking will have some influence. Like, it'd be that little ass shit. Like, the shit that you're, it's like, yo, when you really think about, like, what the fuck? This shit has no purpose. You know what I'm saying? It'd be some little shit like that where people are like, oh, let me try to get this advantage. Let me do that. I'm like, bro, that shit does nothing, bro. It does nothing, bro. Can you talk about the officiating changes? Honestly, I don't like to talk about officiating too much because it's a form of complaining. And complaining doesn't really get you anywhere unless you have direct influence on the decisions that are made by the people you have a problem with. And so I can sit here and talk about officiating all the time, but the only time I would really talk about officiating is how players are able to manipulate rules. And so if there's anything specific, though, when it comes to rule changes in general that you want me to talk about, you're curious what I think about it, you just drop it. Let me know like what officiating rule it is, and I can just answer it that way instead of like really talking about a whole bunch of officiating stuff. Because we'll be wasting a lot of time talking about a whole lot of nothing that's going to translate to a whole lot of nothing. And so, but this play translates to a play that will be now layered. So notice this right here too, right? So these next two plays. So this action right here, these 2 down screens on the left side by Dallas, right? Kyrie curls this, and Kyrie started near that deep corner. So now When Luka ends up getting here, Dylan Brooks goes under. He catches deep in this mid-range. He's not going to shoot a deep mid-range shot. If anything, he'll step back, but he doesn't even do that. He gets down here, makes this spin move, but notice what Luka's going to watch, right? Notice what Luka's going to watch right here in the situation. He spins, looks at Landale, sees he's still there, right? So if it's Dylan Brooks by himself, he could have pump fake, stepped through to that left side, but Landale's still there, so now I kick to Kleber. So anytime you make a spin move, you got to turn and make sure you make your reads, and don't just spin and then end up at the last second when your feet are already down, then looking up, because you need to make sure you make decisions quick. So on a spin, you got to make sure you turn your head with you. And whether or not you got to read a help defender or you just got to read just the defender in front of you, sometimes there won't be a help defender. Got to make sure you get your eyes right back to where they need to be. Give me 1 second. Let me get to the second layer of the play. But now, once again, they run in the same set. They start high corner. So what ends up happening now is that Dylan Brooks is about to do the same thing, where he ends up going under, and now Luka could hide behind the screen and now shoot a three. Because I could actually shoot a three, I'm not going to shoot a midi. Although he missed, quality look. It's about quality. I always tell y'all this is about quality of a shot and not whether the shot goes in or not. So I'll still show y'all misses. Can y'all stop dumb comments and let him break? Buddy has a fucking multiple personality disorder or some shit, bro. Buddy talking to himself, bro. Buddy is bugging. Buddy is tripping. Appreciate the content. My pleasure, my pleasure. But understand this. This is one concept I really want to talk about with Dallas. This is why Dallas be so tough to guard. Hold on. Okay, so the playoffs. Okay, that makes a little more sense. So I would say in terms of how the game changes the playoffs due to physicality in your position. Increased physicality means that there's less, the fouls will be called more exclusively, right? I don't know if there will be a direct correlation in less foul calls being called total between regular season and postseason. It should, by like a few, but certain players who haven't built that name for getting foul calls won't get those foul calls, which is why a OKC team, right, with like SGA first time getting to the playoffs, it's going to be a learning curve to some sort of extent, which is why a team like LA would want to play a team like OKC, because you know LeBron's going to get his calls, AD's going to get his calls, and they're built on playing inside the paint, right? And so understanding that, they would want an advantage of a team. They want to play a team like OKC, because even though they are good, right, they don't have that. They don't have the benefit of the whistle on their side. And so I do like the fact as to which they increase the physicality in the playoffs. We all do, right? You got to play through certain shit, and you can't be doing this flopping shit all the time and just calling every single thing like, bro, you got to play through it. You got to hoop. I do like it. Y'all probably do like it as well, and it definitely puts some teams at an advantage and puts teams like OKC in a disadvantage. So, show Rockets plays too. I don't have any Rockets plays in here. I don't got any Rockets plays. It's just Kyrie and Luka. I already done watched like 3 Rockets games this year in like the past month, really. Maybe like at least 2, maybe 3 in the past month. We need that Fred VanVleet breakdown, bro. I got Rockets breakdowns already, bro. I got Rockets breakdowns. Check the one I did on Utah against the Utah Jazz. If y'all really want to see a VanVleet breakdown, check the one I did with the Utah Jazz. Have you seen if you sleep on your back, you have better pace on the court? Try it. You sleep on your back, you're gonna have better pace on the court. It's kind of odd. I'm gonna try sleeping. He spit. I just started sleeping on my back. Just speaking of that. But my coach always telling me to keep driving to the rim shooting layups, but doesn't want me or anyone on the team to pull up. Do you think I just ignore him and do it, or I don't know what to do? Take the shots you know you can make, because your coach will tell you to do something that he only sees. Like if you put in a shit ton of reps on, say, a dribble pull up or some shit like that, take it in the game if you trust yourself. Only if you trust and believe in yourself. So you're gonna have to bet on yourself and believe in yourself when it comes down to shit like that. And so understand, okay, I may only have 1 or 2 shots to take this, but I know this is important. I need it. So it's going to help us be better as a team and help me be better as a player. So, you know, Last 2 free throws by Jabari Smith. I ain't gonna lie. I got the clips in here. His form was low-key a little whack. I was like, bro, you sold the fuck out that joint. You sold that shit, bro. Like, he was like, I don't know why he'd be shooting like that. Like, I don't know. Like, his set point, right, is just, like, all the way up here. And he just, this shit is weird. That's why he can't shoot off the dribble. And also his handle is not that great. And also why I'm thankful for the fact that we took Paolo Banchero at number 1 instead. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I'm like, bro, that dodged the bullet. Dodged the bullet right there, bro. Dodged the bullet. I was hoping we took Chet that year because I was like, I didn't even think Paolo was in contention, but they took Paolo instead. I was like, oh, that's even better. You know, looking back at it now. Looking back at it now, I was like, oh, that was a brilliant move. Brilliant move, man. Hey, Crazy Stories, appreciate that sub. Anything else? You think Shea will struggle every officiating changes drives the rim? Hey, that's the thing. We'll see how the officiating gets called for him in the playoffs. We'll see how it gets called for him in the playoffs. It's like I said, it's gonna be a learning curve. It's gonna be a learning curve for shit show. Now let's lock in. Let's flow. Right. I want to talk about this next concept. Which is why Luka and Kyrie are so tough to guard together. Right. So, what makes Luka and Kyrie so tough to guard, whether it's going to be regular season or postseason, is where they space the floor anytime they get the ball. You got Kyrie, who's now on this wing, right? And so now when Luka wants to go and attack, this player right here is staying attached to Kyrie, not playing help. So this just leaves that middle wide open and also getting down to the rim wide open. Especially if you even got some shooters on the weak side or people you just trust to knock down shots like Derrick Jones Jr. Good luck guarding, right? Good luck guarding. Now, and I got more plays of that. You're just going to see like the lane be wide open. It'd be wide open. And now let me talk about this play right here. I want to talk about a crossover, right? So peep this, right? If you want to have an effective crossover, these are the keys right here, right? First and foremost, you got to have that trunk rotation. You got to have that core strength that'll keep you stable. And now that off arm shoulder, that off arm also rotating as well so you can sell your angles. And then also you got to make sure you get that ball out wide because if you don't, defender might strip it. It may be harder for you to even get into a drive if you want to go and drive and not cross over. And then also, this is another part a lot of y'all don't have. This internal hip rotation from that opposite leg, right? From the leg that doesn't have all the weight on it. You need to have good internal hip rotation. So that's just that hip mobility, that hip strength, and also that single leg strength so you can be able to shift your weight onto that right foot or to that left foot and let that other foot, let that back leg loose. And so it could almost drag. And ultimately, what can you get? Snatches like those and be able to create space and get your buckets, get your shots off. Those are important parts. Those are multiple components. And I'm going to layer those in terms of building, say, a crossover on the Patreon. So make sure y'all go and check that out. Link in the chat, link in the description, link everywhere. I cannot switch 10 shots in a row easily. I've also tried with jumping and it's going all right. Should I move further now? I would say, yeah, go take steps back. Take steps back. If it's getting easy to where you can do it at that high of a level, doing that quantity, take steps back. Yo, you good? Dropping, bro. Buddy is tweaking. Buddy is tweaking on a Monday. Tweaking on a Monday, bro. I want y'all to peep this. Peep this. All right, I'm gonna talk about. This is the one thing about officiating that I will talk about. This is something at which we weren't really I said I don't like to talk about because it's complaining. But if you could use it into your advantage as a player and it affects the game in your favor, I'm going to show you how it could be effective. Right? So look, watch Kyrie, right? Boom, tween, hook. That's an offensive foul, right? That's an offensive foul. You see him call it right there and then. If you ain't see it, you don't think it is, watch this replay right here, right? Watch. He gets under, he clamps that, offensive foul in the league, right? But understand this, right? Y'all got to understand this next part because even though he got called on the offensive foul for that on that last play, watch Kyrie down on this play. He's going to do the same thing, hooks that, clamps it, but notice where the referees are now, right? This referee is now behind. He's watching from his backside, and this referee cannot see through Fred VanVleet even if he was trying to see Kyrie. So nobody could see that hook. So what ends up happening for Kyrie is that he gets there, gets fouled by Jalen Green, and did something else called an offensive foul last time, but it's not this time, and Jalen Green is even upset saying he got that hook. So depending on angles on the floor, certain things will work, certain things will not work. And so Kyrie literally did the same shit twice, and that shit worked on the second time. But didn't work on the first time because it's a little too blatant, a little too obvious. Hold on. I almost sneezed for a second. That shit went out. My nose, that shit just left. That shit deserted. That's wild as fuck. I seen that shit. I was like, yo, what the fuck is that? I don't know what made Kyrie say, yo, let me add this shit to my bag. But this move is crazy. Y'all gotta really see this shit, right? This might be one of Kyrie's craziest moves, right? Watch. Live dribble, jab, step back. If y'all want to add this, y'all got to understand this, right? If y'all want to add this live dribble, jab, step back, as a matter of fact, don't add that shit because it's going to be a waste of your fucking time in the gym. Don't go into the gym working on that bullshit because by the time you get into a game, you try to do that shit, you're going to get subbed like that, right? And you could be working on things that are going to be 10 times more effective than just pulling off a pretty move. It's going to be a waste of y'all time. Don't add that shit. Kyrie could do it. Kyrie got it. Those players at the league level, they got it. Us, on the other hand, I'm going to include me in it as well. Fuck it. If I was playing college, I would not even add that shit. It's a waste of time. And now right here, peep Luka's pace. Peep Luka's pace. I want y'all to peep his pace. It'd be the most subtle things that'll give you the biggest separation and create the most gaps, right? So Luka now, full speed attack. Notice this change. You saw that whole shit by Cam Whitmore? You saw Cam Whitmore? Really watch Cam Whitmore on this change of pace. Luka gets here, stops for a split second. Cam Whitmore, right behind the play. Now I got that full step ahead of you. And now I'll get that foul. Cam Whitmore plays through the foul and doesn't let him get that and one. That's a smart thing to do. A lot of people just stop because they hear the foul get called. Cam Whitmore and most defenders should continue to do that because continuation, right, is a part of the game. And now watch this too. This is so simple. This is so simple, right? Notice this, right? Kyrie gets this catch. His eyes go up to that weak side. He sees PJ Washington with Aaron Holiday. He reads PJ Washington and see, all right, can we take advantage of that? Nah, we can't. So now let's go back to Kyrie, right? Notice what happens with Fred VanVleet in the meantime. He ends up opening his base to lead him middle. And notice who also is on that right side to open up that middle. Luka Doncic, who's getting denied by Dillon Brooks. He has all the space in the world. So now, boom, I attack. I see Jeff Green step over. What do I do as soon as I see him starting to step over? Right foot, right hand, float over the top. Smart. Smart attacks, man. I'm telling you, you don't even be dribbling a lot oftentimes, bro. He don't need to do all the dribble moves. He don't need the tweens, the behind the back, the spins. If they going to give something up, Kyrie's going to take it. Simple as that. Anything they give up, he takes. And now same thing right here with they're gonna be another player out of this. Luka and Kyrie about to do the same shit. If Luka playing in the 90s, how much he averaging? I ain't gonna lie, playing he'll fry. I ain't gonna lie, he'll fry. Cause people are like, bro, there's more defense. No, there's just less offense. That's a funny thing. It's like, oh, people say there's more defense. There's probably a little more of a focus because you had to do less because there wasn't as much offense, meaning you didn't have to rotate from the fucking upper quadrants to then go all the way to the opposite corner from a double team and then close out to a shooter, right? You'll just have to go and rotate, say, from like here to then get right here back to this elbow. Like the amount of distance you had to cover was way less, which made defense way easier and made rotations way easier because you didn't have to rotate as far. A lot of people don't even think about that. It's just literally the court was more condensed. So now everything got easier for defense and rotation. So if you had Luka at that point in time, I ain't gonna lie, he'll probably still get a shit off. Like he'll 30, 35, some shit like that. He'll get a shit off, most def. Do you also send off-season plans? Yes, I have that. I have that in one of the, I think in the LeBron, the King James tier. I think that's a part of the King James tier, where I'll personalize like an off-season schedule plan for you. And mind you as well, in that tier, you could send me questions throughout the day, and I respond expeditiously. Like, I respond as quick as I can. So, mind you, any day, any point in time, all that. But understand this as well. Now, Kyrie's about to tap into some layers and what y'all would like to call bag. right? But it's a purposeful bag and it's meaningful moves. So now understand this concept right here. Luka's getting denied by Jeff Green, so now I don't have to worry about that first layer of help. I could just actually get into my attacks and worry about the player in front of me, and I don't have to worry about anybody else until I get down here. So now Kyrie, he goes left, Van Vliet stays in front, change direction, right? Attack the top foot. Now I go right, attack the top foot, force him to open up. Jabari Smith plugged in on the help. Now I stop, I spin, I get out into space. Purposeful. He's just countering what the defense gives. And now I spin, fade to that left side, boom, ball drops in, he gets that bucket. And it's funny because now it was Kyrie's turn just then. About a minute later, give it to Luka. Kyrie also getting denied by Jeff Green. Luka has Dylan Brooks on him. So now what ends up occurring is that Luka, hard drive to that right side. He has all the room in the angles because there's no help. Kyrie's denied. So now what ends up happening, he goes right, gets cut off. Boom, he spins just like Kyrie did. They do practically the same shot, and they both got their own buckets. They're literally able to utilize each other's gravity and get to exactly what they want and have a good balance and dynamic between the two, which allows them to still be a threat. Despite the fact people are like, you can't play together, they're too ball dominant. They just take turns. And that's what allows that shit to work. I remember at the beginning of the season, people I would start like the opening day streams, opening day breakdowns for the season, and I was like, yo, the Mavs are gonna surprise some people. Kyrie came in, had no training camp, he was from all that Brooklyn net shit. I'm like, bro, they gonna surprise people, they gonna make the playoffs. And then y'all was talking about some of the Grizzlies. Bro, people, we really thought the Grizzlies were gonna make the playoffs, bro. And now we just look at it, it's like, damn, that Ja is really might be MVP in this motherfucker, bro. Because you see what happened as soon as he stopped playing. And so that's what's MVP. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. So I like really just thinking about that as a whole. It's like, yo, that's what MVP means. Most valuable player. They take him off the team. They go from pushing 60 wins to then pushing 30. That's fucking value, you ask me. That's value. You know what I'm saying? Jokic, if you took Jokic off the Nuggets, they probably may drop like 15 wins, right? 20 wins if healthy. Ja dropped, they dropped out 30 wins. 30 wins, bottom feeder team. Crazy. Cam Whitmore is nice, bro. They need to start really letting them hoop. They really need to start letting them hoop. And so I don't even want to talk about this aspect of a ball handler. Right? It's low key like it's a hidden skill, but it's a mental skill. Right? It's a mental skill. Then you got the stuff for Dallas. They got to steal with Daniel Gafford too. And that's why even at this point it's like, yo, they could really make some noise in the playoffs. They could really make some noise. That interior presence, now having Lively and Gafford, big time. And Gafford could actually roll, catch lobs, all the little stuff, just like Lively can. So you could use them interchangeably. And Lively's been hurt, so they've had Gafford too. And they picked up P.J. Washington in place of Grant Williams. Oh, that's tough. Tough lineup right there. And mind you, if they got that same lineup and you get Tim Hardaway Jr. going, it's going to be a long fucking night. It's going to be a long night. Let me say that. It's going to be a long damn night. And so even understand this. Now, oftentimes, just playing in games, you're going to get yourself in situations like this, where it's going to be very chaotic, right? A lot of chaos, where it's just like I'm trying to get something, rhythm's getting disrupted, but it's the players who are able to disrupt all that just happened before, and now they have another opportunity and are able just to maximize the present and forget about the past. And so now Kyrie gets to his pace, has he pull up out the right hand, don't just have the left hand, bucket. Looks at the ref and is like, yo, there's a little bit of contact there as well. And he'll still able to knock it down. That's a mental skill that y'all just got to be able to get and be able to work on by just learning how to control your own mental. And being able to almost let go of what happened before and just allowing yourself to play presently. And by the way, one little hack. Something, I don't know if y'all will click the same in terms of the way I think, but for me, it's as simple as this, right? When it comes down to being able to disassociate past plays or disassociate past events, right? Because like I told y'all, basketball connects to life. To be able to disassociate those things and be able to maximize your present, you just got to really realize is that the past has already happened. I can't do shit about it. I'm here where I am right now. I got to maximize what I got right now. And so if I continue to harp on the negatives that happened on the past, I'm probably going to replicate a negative present. But if I continue to allow myself to understand that the past is the past and that it is what it is, and that my present could only be positive if I remain present, right? Then I could be able to actually get some good shit done. That's what kind of allows it to click for me. I just tell myself, I'm like, oh, I can't do shit about it no more. I gotta make the best of what I got now. Turn the ball over 3 times. Oh, I just gotta make sure I just make a good play this time, right? Learn from what I did before and continue to move forward. So, Luka would obliterate illegal defense. Yo, my work paying off. Got two player of the games in my tournament this past weekend. Lock in, stay locked in, stay locked in. Continue to look at your work ethic. Continue to look at your routine and see what more can I do? What better could I do? Always do that. Don't get caught in the same loop, because if you want to be someone you haven't been, you must do things you've never done. So that's where you must continue to refine the things as to what you do. And I want to talk about this. Jalen Green plays some good defense right here. Jalen Green plays some good defense right here. I ain't gonna lie. Right, so notice. This is just a tough shot made by Luka. And so watch Jalen Green, right? Luka gets to this little size up. He's flipped that base right there and then. Instead of staying and leading Luka to his left side, he flipped it on that tween. So now he's ready to stay in front once he makes that go, instead of having to flip and then step out once he made that go move, right? And so what ends up happening, Jalen Green's in great positioning. Luka with the bump, he fades. That's the best you could literally do. And he just got into space and got his shot. So that's tough. And now watch this. I got the same shit right here with Luka, with Kyrie a little later, but y'all got to understand just the aspect of ball handling in itself. Ball handling is not about how well you could dribble the ball from A to B. It's about how well you could move your body and then have the ball be an extension of your body when you get somewhere. And so when you're on the floor, you got to see gaps and see opportunities of where can I get my body and where can I fit. Pause. Right? So now he ends up getting to this middle, just seeing that gap between him and Jabari Smith, and gets that lay. And now, hold on, watch this. I ain't gonna lie. Dylan Brooks, he's about to start getting cooked. Ja Wick retired from basketball. Ja Wick is retired. Ja Wick is done. Bro, his injury is just so like deflating. I was like, damn. Basketball has some real just energy to it, bro. And I was like, damn, he got hurt. I was like, shit. He gonna spin back next year though. He gonna spin back next year. Now, you're about to see Dylan Brooks start to get cooked a little bit, like I said though, right? So I just want you're gonna see the move by Luka, but just really watch Dylan Brooks, right? Look at Dylan Brooks. If you just look at Dylan Brooks right now, you would probably think somebody just hit him with some crazy shit. But look exactly what happened. All Luka did to get Dylan Brooks to stumble like that. Hold on, that's a crazy freeze frame. I accidentally hit the button right there. I accidentally hit the arrow. But notice, right? All Luka did to get Dylan Brooks to stumble like that was this. A basic jab, a soft jab. And now he got him on the floor, step back, gets into that shot. Y'all got to work on your little triple threat spot up catch and shoot game. Y'all need it, bro. Y'all need it. He about to get cooked right here. I ain't gonna lie. This is filthy work. This might be one of like the most disrespectful plays damn near. Like I really like when you're really about to see this clip and see this this play, it's like, yo, that's disrespectful, right? So notice this, right? Luka comes off the screen. He gets inside the arc at 15 on the shot clock. Notice how long he stays in the same spot. 1, 2, 3 seconds. And now notice what type of shit he's about to do now, right? Notice, right? Really notice. He sits here for 3 seconds, and then he is about to go and do this. Fake a spin, and now get exactly to his angle. That's disrespectful. He simply stayed in the same spot for 3 seconds, made a fake spin, and got into the lane and got an and one. If y'all play at your own pace, the game's going to be unlocked. The game's going to be unlocked. It's going to be unlocked. Ja Morant would retire half the 80s. Bro, he'll make half the 80s question the reason why they even play basketball in itself. They'll make them question, can I even do this? Can I even play the game? But it's evolution of the game, though. It's evolution. So even peep this as well. Anytime Kyrie gets into his attacks, he's strategic. Got the switch on to Jalen Green. I like that more than Aaron Holiday. And guess who's to my right side? Luka Doncic. And so now if I want to go and attack, Tim Hardaway Jr. can shoot, but I know damn well that Bullock is not going to help from this corner. So I could drive hard right, despite the fact that it is a strong side corner. I don't have too much room, but I could create that room and get into my bucket. Because on that side, I don't got to worry about Bullock leaving because he's guarding Luka. And now here, Kyrie's about to start cooking. Kyrie started cooking in this fourth. Kyrie really started cooking in this fourth. He ends up getting this steal right here with Jalen Green, right? I just want to show y'all this in terms of he's just building his rhythm and how he's just feeling. Because to take a pull-up like that, toe on the line, though, you have to be feeling a little different. Boom, pull-up, knock that down. And now Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks. I ain't gonna lie, Dillon Brooks was getting served a lot of shit. He was getting served a lot of shit. So I want y'all to see this playing full speed, right? A lot of y'all will see this play by Kyrie and all the highlight reels and be like, ah, damn, all them damn moves. He getting mixed. He getting busy. But understand the purpose of all the moves. Understand the purpose. Because notice now, right? From the start. We're going to go from the start. Every single move. Every single one. So understand, right? He's got Dillon Brooks. He makes this first go move to that left. He stops. Got beat to the spot. He goes right. Attacks the top foot. Boom, hits a crossover, attacks the top foot once again, goes left, boom, spins once again because he opened up that gap with all those other moves, and now I could go right and be able to get to my lay and get that bucket. Attacking that top foot every single time with that stance switch, and every single one of those moves also went downhill. He was trying to get somewhere with all those moves. He ain't stay in one spot. He ain't stay in a 3-5 foot vicinity. He was actually going somewhere. And that's why all the moves even worked. That's why Dillon Brooks is even dropping back, because he was actually trying to get to the rim. Let me put that back right quick. Boom. Locked in. Kyrie's still cooking, by the way. Kyrie's still cooking, by the way. Look, notice this. I want to talk about the size disadvantage, even when it comes down to a play like this. So notice, right? Kyrie got Jalen Green. Kyrie's 6'2". Jalen Green, he's about 6'5" with fast twitch fibers, so he could jump up high, right? So understand, when Kyrie gets into this go, despite the fact that he did lose his rhythm right there, he makes all this contact, which now allows him to get into a pull-up because that contact created that separation for him to be able to get to that bucket. So that angle's extremely vital because if you have bad angles, you can't get contact. But if you keep the angle sharp and seek the contact, you could actually get the contact and get some separation. And now once again, he's cooking, bro. He's cooking. I got to slow this one down. Right? I got to slow this one down. So understand this right here with Kyrie. When you get into your size ups with pace, it allows you to be able to do this right here. So watch Kyrie. Tween. Hops out, makes another tween, and now he's actually able to read that Jalen Green hopped out to that right side. So now I could go back to this middle and be able to go find some space, use a travel, as a matter of fact, low key, and get into my fade to get my bucket. So y'all got to slow down, right? When you get into these size ups, see if your defender is going to jump out and react, and then react according to that. Now you're probably like, damn, you're going to let him switch on him once again. Yeah, you're going to let him get this switch once again. You're going to let him get busy once again. But this is where as a defender, you just got to be smart, right? This is where as a defense, you got to get smart. Where you just seen him cook up multiple plays in a row. And now as Fred VanVleet in this situation, you understand that Kyrie don't want you on him. I'm not going to clear out and be a bot, be an NPC. I'm going to go and blow this play up and get the ball out of his hands because we're just not going to let him keep scoring. And ultimately, this allows him to get them in rotation and take a tough shot off the spot up. And then they end up getting the stop right here at this point. So when you see somebody cooking, don't just sit there and watch it, let them keep doing this shit. Be the person to step out and just throw a double team at them, even if your coach says not to do it. Because just being the player, you know better than just to let somebody get cooked. And now here's what I want to talk about these double teams. These double teams. So anytime your teammate may end up getting blitzed, you can't just run away like Exum did right here. You got to remember, like I said at the start, you got to keep the person that's which should be on you in your sight. And if they go to double, you can turn around immediately and provide a quick outlet, right? So ultimately, I think they scored on this play. I'm not 1,000% sure. Or yeah, Kyrie gets this right here, gets that to the middle. off the spot up. He gets fouled right there. But there's going to be times where they don't execute because that person getting to that middle is either late, or what ends up happening is that the person, once they do catch in the middle, they're not quick enough making that decision. So I'm going to talk about that a little later. And I want to talk about Jalen Green here, right? So Luka got Fred VanVleet. Mismatch, size mismatch, right? Jalen Green goes to double team. And what ends up happening, throws us to the middle. They end up getting the defense in rotation. Now Jalen Green, you're guarding Luka now, right? You cannot relax. You can't relax. He's always supposed to be in denial, right? As soon as you know who you got, if it's Kyrie or Luka, you take away those passes, you make anybody else score. And so he ends up relaxing, has to now guard Luka on the closeout when you should have already been in that denial. And now Luka ends up just getting straight into a step back off the spot up, gets that bucket, right? And now he's about to switch on to Kyrie. Same concept right here, right? It's not too big of a problem if it happens once, but twice, it shows you a habit of being lackadaisical. And so now what ends up happening, he's guarding Kyrie, boom. Then you get double team, he gives it up. Fred VanVleet is the one to leave to get back in rotation. Jalen Green relaxes. Ah, shit, he just got cut. He's got a cut right there. He ends up getting that layup. Lackadaisical. How do you coach one-on-one in Patreon? One-on-one coaching is live calls. Like I'll send a Discord. We'll do a Discord call. It'll be a 30-minute Discord call, and we'll talk about. We could watch your film. We could talk about your schedule. We could talk about training. We could talk about a bunch of stuff. Anything you may have questions on, or any film you may want me to watch. That's what we do on the one-on-one calls. But I want to show this end of this game. This end of the game is kind of crazy. End of this game is kind of a little wild, right? So y'all Rockets fans, a little tough. It's a little tough right here, right? So even peep this. So VanVleet gets the second end of the free throw. He misses that, and then Mavs get that. They end up boom, inbounds. Kyrie off the screen. This is a great play, by the way. This is a fantastic play. Got a clean ass look. Only looking in retrospect will you say, you should have pump faked. But you got to shoot them shots in rhythm, right? And so what ends up occurring is that now they get fouled, or they get a timeout. VanVleet down here gets to Jabari Smith. Jabari Smith now ends up getting fouled. And now some of y'all may already know how this goes. How do you not get the ball robbed? I mean, essentially improve your handle. What aspect of your handle is bad though? Because there's subset of skills within a ball handling in itself that you must know is bad, and for you to go and improve. What's the subset, you may ask? That's some Patreon stuff right there. That's some Patreon stuff. Jabari Smith missed that first one, right? It's like, okay, we up 3. He could hit this one. You know what I'm saying? All you need is one. And the question is, they get this rebound. Up 3, 8 seconds, 0 timeouts left. Nobody fouls. That's the worst part about this game. Nobody decided to foul, right? And so what ends up occurring, boom, they just get this shit out. Quick swing, shot, boom, bucket. That's just sad, bro. That is sad. No one fouled. At that point, you just deflated, bro. You're just like, come on, bro. Someone didn't know. That's tough, and that's just GG's for their season right there. That's how their season ends practically, because at this point, Kyrie about to start cooking, right? And I want y'all to notice this with Kyrie. Some more gems, right? Watch Kyrie's triple threat, right? Notice him right here. Watch the ball. Watch him cook. Boom, jab. Watch VanVleet. Hands showing. Boom, jab. He drops. And every single time he drops, understand this. VanVleet now puts all of his weight onto both of his feet. So now as a defender, he can't move in steps and beat Kyrie to a spot. And so now Kyrie could jab to that right, get him to drop, and now go and rip to that left side and get to my spot where you cannot beat me to because you kept dropping on all those jabs. Gems right there. Just realizing movement, seeing those little things. And now remember what I said with Luka before with navigation, right? It's important that, especially in transition, you keep all your moves condensed, right? And so you got to get good at navigating and finding gaps. So Kyrie working his way down to the left side, Bullock, you literally see his weight shift down to that bottom foot, sees his gap right there. Continuation with the foul, he gets himself to the line. And now here as well. I want to talk about these double teams. Because especially if you already know your teammate cooking, he's getting double teamed, you got to pick up on their schemes, right? You got to pick up on the defensive schemes. So don't just set this screen and slip out and run away. You got to curl right back every single time. And now he did curl back to this middle, but once you make this catch, the most important part is not just catching it, but it's catching and facing the rim. So now you can see everything in front of you, see where the defense is stacked up, and where you must make a pass, because Kyrie is open right now. And he could have knocked that down. But what ends up happening, he doesn't even get that, throws that to the corner. But Exum takes matters into his own hands. Denial over here, Klebo over there. He says, nah, fuck that, I got it. Called my own number. Attack Van Vliet downhill, gets that lay right hand. That's tough. So if y'all gonna go and make a play, the fuck is ugly ass hand doing? What the hell? But if y'all gonna go and make a play, you just gotta go do it. Believe in yourself. Call your own number, right? That's what that means. Call your own number. You believe in yourself. You're gonna go and do what you feel, what you believe you can do, right? Not just believe what you know you can do. So that's just the level of confidence that comes from reps and playing. Why do you think the Mavs won't make it to the finals this year? They have good assets from the trade. They do, but they don't got nothing that could stop a Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have size. You know, they did get some good pieces like a Gafford. Like you got to have some. They have Kyrie and Luka, so of course that's like okay. They got the backcourt, but it's gonna be tough to guard for a team like Denver. I think that's the only real tough one. Like I could see him beating the Clippers, the Suns. I could see him beating like the Lakers. Like I could see him beating most of those teams, but the the Nuggets is a tough one because Jokic and the way they play all together. Rockets could have easily won this. They should have just fouled once after that second miss. Just fouled after that second miss.